Hello and welcome to Movies That Move Me. I'm your host Elijah Winfrey. I'm a writer and director, and I love to talk about movies. I love making them, I love talking about them, and so I thought I'm going to talk about just the movies that I like, the movies that inspired me to become a filmmaker. So that's what I've kind of been doing throughout this series. If you're still with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you're just joining me, hey, go back and watch some of those other videos. And my hope with this is you'll be able to see where some of my inspirations come from if you do end up watching some of my work, which if you do, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But two, just to be able to talk movies with folks. I really do enjoy talking movies with everybody. So feel free to leave me a comment if you've seen the movie that we're going to talk about today. Leave me a comment with what you thought about the film, what you think about my evaluation of the film. If you're a writer or director, that's really cool too. If not, that's fine. Just let me know what you think about it. If you've never seen the film before, what I would ask is go watch the movie and then come back and leave that comment for me so that I can see what you think about it. Okay, so with all of that introduction out of the way, that was a long one. Let's get into the actual movie we're talking about. Okay, it is The Saint, starring Val Kilmer. And this movie is one that I actually saw long after it came out in theaters. It was one that I actually watched after reading the Val Kilmer memoir, I'm Your Huckleberry. So if you've never read that book, I would encourage you to read that book. It's a great one. You don't have to read the book, though, to understand this film. This film was also adapted from a television series. In my opinion, you don't have to watch a television series to get this film. Okay, it probably helps, but I don't think you have to watch the television series to get what's going on here. Now, I want to give some love to some of the other folks who were in this film outside of Val Kilmer. We also have Elizabeth Shue, who plays the love interest in this film. She is also one of the main characters, obviously, in the film. And there's some other folks as well whose names are a little bit more difficult to pronounce, so I don't want to butcher anybody's name, so we'll just move on. But this does have a very talented cast, and as you watch it, you will pick up on that. Okay, so what is this movie about if you've never seen it? I'm not even going to flip to the other screen because some of the descriptions of this movie are very long and very complicated. Okay, I'm going to give it to you straight. All right. Val Kilmer is a man for hire. He plays Simon Templar. He is, like I said, an agent for hire. And he has made in his career $42 million. Dollars. He needs to make $50 million dollars in order to be able to retire and stop doing what he's doing. Okay? He is hired by a Russian businessman to go after Elizabeth Shue's character and get her formula for cold fusion. There you go. That's the entire setup for the movie. But of course, as Val Kilmer's character goes and meets Elizabeth Shue, it's not so easy when you fall in love with your target, right? So that's kind of what this movie is about. Again, you won't see that type of description on Google or anywhere else because they just for some reason want to make it more complicated than it is. But it is a fun spy movie. Val Kilmer in this film, I believe he wears 12 different disguises, and that was something that critics actually really did enjoy, was how he was able to create different mannerisms and different accents for each of these characters that he had to do, these different disguises he had to do. And like I said, it's just a fun time. It's another one of those, get your big old bucket of popcorn, get your big drink, and sit down and enjoy it. This is not a spy movie I go to if I want something serious. Okay? If I just want to have a good time with a spy movie, I watch The Saint. Okay? If I want something with a little bit more higher stakes, I'll go watch like a Daniel Craig James Bond film or a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible film. But if I just want to have a good time with a movie and I'm not too worried about like it being serious, I watch The Saint. And I don't mean that to sound disrespectful. I mean that because it is one of those movies where it's just a good time. It's a fun spy movie. I really had a great time with it. Now, what are the inspirational things from this that I take? This is actually more on the acting side of things. So for me, in some of my films, I also act in them. I I watched this movie to see like how Val Kilmer did those different mannerisms, how he was able to do the different accents. Now, I am not very good at doing accents. If you watch my films, you probably will pick up on that. Okay, but I do try very very hard when it comes to my mannerisms as the different characters that I do. And again, this is a film that kind of helps me a little bit with that. This is also one that I find to be inspirational when it comes to writing spy movies. Now, I have not written a spy movie yet, but it is one that I am looking to hop into, a genre that I'm looking to hop into. And obviously, when I do, this will be one of those that I look at. So, again, that's kind of a brief one, maybe the shortest one we've done here on Movies That Move Me, but I wanted to talk about it. It is The Saint. And let me get you the year on it because I forgot to do that. 1997, that's the year that it came out. It is PG-13. And again, if you're trying to get someone to watch this movie with you, don't have them read the descriptions that are online for this thing because they're so convoluted and they make this seem like a serious film when in reality it's a man for hire who falls in love with his target. There you go. Okay, it's simple. Have yourself a good time. Watch The Saint. Let me know what you think. And if you've already seen it, let me know what you think as well. This is The Saint, and it is a movie that moved me.